My name is Anya Panwar, a 16-year-old from Sammamish, Washington. In my research, I learned that there are economic and environmental impacts to sustainability regulations. Given these impacts, what are your thoughts on bills like SB 5474 that focuses on increasing organic farming in Washington?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that's a bill I'm very excited about. You know, one of the things that I think is important for people to know is that farming, and especially organic farming, is really good for the environment. The impacts of keeping our lands as working farmland and farming in an organic fashion allows us to store carbon in the soil, allows us to manage the soil and the runoff in a way that's sustainable. And especially in organic farming, where you're going to be using a lot less chemicals, a lot less foreign sources, and you're so that when we have rain events or flood events, the runoff is going to be so much better for the overall environment. Organic farming is also super cool for the farmers that are partaking in that line of work. They're able to grow crops that maybe are a niche crop and also able to bring their crops to market at a higher rate. And so their profitability might be more sustainable. I think one of the things we find in farming sometimes is the crop prices ebbing and flowing up and down. But we have found in the studies that I've seen is that organic prices tend to be a little more stable. They have a different marketplace, and they have a marketplace that values organic farming. The people value the fact that the crops, the food that they buy didn't lead to runoff, didn't lead to pollution of our waterways, may have had less carbon footprint, and maybe something that they value. And so they'll pay a premium for that to feel good about eating the product that's brought to market, whatever that might be. Also, it can provide an opportunity for a niche crop, maybe something that isn't produced on a mass scale. And so it's really great to see, young people engaging in the ideas of farming. I think we've seen this session so far. I've talked to more young folks who are interested in the future of farming, who want to be a part of farming. And I think organic farming is something that they find very rewarding, and they're looking into that work and what that would mean, and also just the science around it and the work that would go into setting up an organic farm. So I think the future of organic farming is alive and well in Washington. We've been a leader in that space, and I think it will continue to be. And as we continue to get great questions from these young folks asking that, I mean, that's the future, right? The future of farming. So yeah, great question. Thank you.
Well, Anya, that's a very good question, and it's kind of a loaded one because there is a lot of parts and pieces to that. So let me try to unpack that a little bit. I've spent a lifetime in agriculture, and have been blessed to spend a considerable amount of time on cooperative boards, agricultural cooperative boards, and so I've gotten the opportunity to travel around the world. 5474 is about offering resources from the state of Washington to organic producers so that they can thrive. I don't know is exactly about expanding that. The market will determine how much organic agriculture is wanted. The truth of the matter is that there are trade-offs between organic agriculture and conventional agriculture, and I try to never villainize either side because we need both conventional and organic agriculture. But in many cases, organic agriculture, by not being allowed to use synthetic products, use organic products that are more caustic than the synthetic ones are. So the truth of the matter is, organic doesn't mean that you don't use crop protectants. Organic means that in some cases you use more fossil fuels in order to produce the crop because you don't have the synthetic pesticides to use or fertilizer, and so it requires more manipulation of the crop. And in some cases, if not done correctly, it can have adverse effects on the environment. So it's the balance that we're looking for. There's a lot of words out there now about in agriculture. There's organic, there's conventional, but there is there's regenerative, there's just a multitude of different terms. And so we have to be very careful on how we define things and how we're looking at these different methods of farming. The most important thing is that we leave it better than we found it, and we can destroy years of good husbandry with poor practices, and they can exist in any form of agriculture.